friends, Jerry Rosa here in the Rosa Stringworks Man Cave. I kind of hated missing the play along last night, but it was the thing to do for me. It worked out great. I was able to get that roof going and got it under enough roof now that if it rains, it won't be a problem. Everything will stay dry. I've got 4 short videos to share with you today and a couple other just announcement type news. Everything seems good though. I think it's all good news. First of all, there's a jam tonight at the Houston House down in Newburgh, Missouri. So if you're in the area and you'd like to attend a jam, it'll be at about, it starts usually around 6:30. So anyway, Houston House, Newburgh, Missouri, and you can't miss it if you just drive down through Newburgh and get along the railroad track there. It'll be kind of on your left, generally speaking. I would assume you're coming from 44, so if you're coming from that direction, it'll be on your left. Anyway, I also got confirmation, more good news, that Cash will definitely be here on the last Thursday. I think I told you that yesterday, but even better news, Cambry, the girl that's been singing with him, she'll be here also. So Cambry is a real good singer. I think you'll enjoy the two of them together. They've learned several songs together now, and I think it's going to work out really good. I did get the roof completed last night. I worked on it till 7:30. So, I was beat like a whipped pup. So here is the little video showing you how that turned out.
Well, my friends, it's 7:32 Thursday evening, and I won. Oh my gosh. You have no idea how dead, sore, tired I am. I couldn't put it in words. There's not a spot on me that ain't just screaming in pain. Every single joint, my hips have just about quit working. It's just bad. It's real bad. I barely can walk. I just had to stick with it till I got that done. I wanted that done. That way, if it rains for the next 4 or 5 days, no problem. It's completely watertight now. We don't have to worry about it. I'm real glad that's fixed. Oh, that was tough. You really don't have a good guess. Up and down that stupid ladder, I couldn't tell you how many times. I know most of you won't think this is very safe, but it never did move or wiggle or nothing. I had it sitting on those rocks, and it just worked fine. It really did. I felt completely solid and safe. I didn't feel like it was going to slip on me or anything. And I had to carry all those boards up that ladder till the very end. Sue helped me with the top few boards. She handed them up to me while I was up there, but all the rest of them I carried up there, and it was fun. I am so glad that's done. I can't even begin to tell you how happy I am that that part's done. At least, the shingles is still a huge thing, but, I don't have to get in any huge hurry on that. Well, that's all for now.
Yeah, that was really a lot of work. You really just have no idea how much work that was. I started on it just from the moment we hung up from the vlog yesterday and worked on it solid till 7:30. And you have to there's a lot I had to do. I had to plane the boards down to the right thickness and get them all up there. I had to keep them in pairs, and it's just, I don't even know how to explain it. It just was really difficult. And just getting the boards up on the scaffold, because you couldn't, from the ground, you could almost reach the scaffold with the end of the board. You could reach it, but you can't. It's above your head so much, and it's so far away, like 10 feet away, that you can't push it and get it to land up on there. So you have to literally have to carry them up the dang ladder. And Sue was busy cutting grass, so I didn't have anybody to help me until the very end. When she was finished, she did help me with the last 4 or 5 boards. But other than that, and I was so beat down, tired, sore that I got this thing out and just did it all over my neck and my shoulders and my hips and my elbows. I mean, everything was screaming. It was just screaming. And 6 aspirins later, I was doing better, but it was bad. I didn't sleep a whole lot last night. Let's just say it that way. It was rough. It was a rough night. So today, I'm barely doing anything today. Just to let my, it's the kind of, I don't know what kind of arthritis you'd call it. I mean, according to the doctors, I have both kinds. I have the osteo and the rheumatoid. But the symptoms for me is after it gets sore like that, I just have to let it rest. If I just keep going, it just gets worse and worse and worse and worse. You never get used to it, So you just have to let it calm down, and then you can go back at it again. So today's my calm down day. Here is a little listening pleasure, a little bit of viewing pleasure too. If on this first part of this video, just if you're watching the water carefully, you'll see a lot of catfish. And on the second part, you'll hear a lot of noise. I don't know if you noticed, but right there at the very end, you saw that sparrow land on that light, and then he flew down into that house. Well, I took it, I pulled all the houses down this morning again just to double check, and there was only one sparrow nest this time, where there's been about 4 to 5 each time so far. But this time there was only one, so I emptied that out yet again, and it appears that all the other houses are full with martins. So it looks like there's 23 martin nests now, and so that means 46 individuals. And some of the nests had as many as like 6 eggs. I mean, they're doing well. So anyway, you're going to have a whole lot more martins coming for next year for sure. They just, it's exponential. They just come back in bigger numbers every year, So that kind of leads me into the next video. Something I was working on this morning. Like I said, I'm taking it easy today. This wasn't a lot of work. It's just more like sitting and thinking. Well, my friends, the Martins are using so many of my houses that I'm going to need more houses for sure next year, and maybe even some this year if I wanted to. These are my old houses. Now they didn't have this extension on here. I just put that on there today. I just was experimenting. My laser cutter cut out the door, and I need a lid for it yet, but that looks really good. I think they'll like that a lot. And these houses are even a little bigger here, which I think they like too, this part. So that'll keep the hawks from getting them with that kind of entrance and this little extension here where the hawks can't reach back in there, or the owls, either one. So here's what it looks like before I put it together. Actually, this was my first prototype, and I'm also plastic welding this with these little wire gadgets that go across the seam and weld it back together using this little gun. It's really an excellent way to do it. It really makes it solid. You can pick it up by that. It's really very, 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 very strong. Don't have to worry about it coming apart. The only weakness in the thing is these are wooden. And as you can see on this one, I siliconed it in all the way around. And I might even paint the wood just to make it last longer after the silicone dries. Probably should have painted it first and then siliconed it. Would have been smarter. And maybe that's what I'll do on this one. But anyway, I'm going to just go ahead and put this one together. I think this is going to save me a lot of money because, like, if you bought a dozen of them, they're like $288. And I have at least a dozen of these, maybe more than that, maybe 2 dozen of these. And it really doesn't take that much work to convert them. So I think this is going to work out great. And yes, I did find about 2 dozen, I think maybe even 25 of those old houses. So that's going to save me a lot of money. And I'm pretty sure the Martins will like them just as well, maybe even better than the ones that I've been buying. Because I think that the size of that gourd, I think they like that a lot. They used those houses the first few years that I had Martins, and they seemed to love them anyway. I mean, they just went right in them. But they didn't have that extension on them, and they had the round hole. So the round hole is 2 problems, and without the extension, it just makes it even worse. The owls and the hawks could fly up and stick their head through. We're getting severe warnings here, weather warnings. Anyway, how do you shut that off?
National Weather Service. Severe thunderstorm warning in effect for this area until 2 p.m. Central Daylight Saving Time for destructive baseball-size hail. Take shelter in a sturdy
destructive baseball-size hail. It's
It's
getting real dark out there, I can tell you that right now. Yeah, this morning it was super bright out and super sunny, and I thought, well, it don't look like it's going to rain. Sue was saying it's going to rain today. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, the old houses, the hawks and the owls flew up and ate all the babies. Well, then the Martins didn't come back, and they didn't come back for like 10 years. It took me like 10 years to get them back. And when I got them back, I wanted to make sure that wouldn't happen again. So that's why I went to those long extended openings. And that's what I'm doing now, is putting those extended openings on those old houses. And I'd be able to hang those back up. And again, that round hole also attracts sparrows and starlings. And specifically the starlings. They're just as bad as the sparrows, maybe even worse. But the starlings for sure don't like the small rectangle openings, but the sparrows still do. And it is thundering out there. It's booming, man. I don't know if you can hear it on the microphone or not, but it's, this room is a room within a house. I mean, like there's rooms all the way around this. So this doesn't have any outside wall exposure at all. And it's very quiet in here. And when I can hear the thunder, it's got to be really loud. Plus, there's an additional roof over this. There's a roof on this over this room between here and the outer roof. So in other words, this room is insulated in all directions. There's no outside at all to this room. Therefore, if you can hear anything in here, which you can't very often, but I can sure hear that thunder, so it's got to be really booming out there. It must be something. Well, anyway, so that's the story on the Martin houses. I was planning to go down there this afternoon and do some more of that, but the way the weather looks right now, I may just stay in here. And then finally, the last little video I have for you is I thought it would be good to let you see the inside of the roof of the water wheelhouse, which a lot of people were saying, why do you need 1.5-inch boards? Well, I guess this will hopefully explain part of it, and if it don't, I'll explain it at the end. It's Friday morning, and I'm shooting directly into the sun here, unfortunately. But I thought I'd show you what the roof looks like from the inside. It's kind of nice looking, I think. Probably needs some more work yet inside, but overall not too bad. Yeah, so that's the new side there. It doesn't have any, cedar shingles on that part yet. This part here does have cedar shingles on it. But that's going to be pretty nice. After I get the shingles on, then I've got to do some kind of, work on these ends. I'm thinking about putting some kind of a window up in the triangle area. I'm thinking about putting some kind of, type of a cross beam across here on this outer edge, because the window will be in there, but then out here on this outer edge, I'm thinking about putting a cross beam and maybe an up beam, possibly even some side beams. I mean, just something to decorate it up a little bit. But then again, I don't know. I might just keep it simple, but we may do something like that. I don't know. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's still a whole lot of work to be done. I got to get windows, doors, and all kinds of stuff done on this thing. It's just a lot of work. And, even a board across here for trim, that kind of thing. I'm going to trim it all out eventually. I am so glad that part of the roof is at least waterproof now. Yeah, that thunder keeps going too. And I see a car headlights way down there by the bridge. I don't know what I can see. There's my little window here, and then there's all the way across that room, there's another window, and then I'm looking out and I can see a car out on the driveway. So I don't know if that's Sue or if that's somebody else coming in. Anyway, so the reason, again, that cedar is 1.5 inches thick, so that when you drive those 1.5 inch nails, roofing nails, in through those shingles, then you don't see the ends of them sticking out on the inside of the building. That's why I needed it 1.5 inches thick. It looks like it's a white pickup truck pulling in. I guess it's probably Becca and her fiance, I would imagine, is who it is. Anyway, that's about it I have for you today. So let me go through the comments and see what's going on that way. David Tharp was first in there, and Joe Nigan, and let's see, Rod Wentler, big old howdy. David Tharp, do not touch. That's probably one of the scariest things you could read in Braille. You're messed up, David. You are messed up. Let's see. Ronald Todd, good afternoon. Jerry and everyone from the West Banks of New Jersey. Wavy gravy. Here's one for you serious musicians out there. C, E flat, and G walk into a bar together. The bartender looks at them and says, "I'm sorry, but we don't serve minors in here." I'll be darned. And see, you have to know something about music to make that make any sense. And I'm just assuming, because I don't know anything about music, I'm assuming that a C and an E flat and a G make that a minor chord. That's what I'm assuming. But I don't know if that's true or not. Because I know nothing about music like that in the formal sense. I mean, it's crazy. You might say, well, how do you play music? Well, I just do it by ear, you know. Bill Rose, I hate telling on myself like that, but it's the truth. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't know anything about music. Bill Rhodes, good afternoon, Jerry. And then let's see, moving on down. Bill Rhodes says, I would like you to check out Stephen Wood. The song is Thank God I'm Free. I'll write it down and see if I can find it. Stephen Wood. Thank God I'm free. I'll look it up. Let's see. After we went live, David Tharp says, if drinking energy drinks causes short-term memory loss, just imagine what drinking energy drinks would do. I already forgot. Does something cause short-term memory loss? Don Nice. Hi, Jerry and friend. I hope all is well. We just got 1.5 inches of rain in our eastern Pennsylvania. Wow. Well, we're getting a heavy rain out there now. I can see it. I can see it. The window. I can see the window on the outside out there is got water all over it. So it must be raining hard. Because there's a pretty good overhang on those windows too. I mean, on the roof. Let's see, good. Don Nice. What would Jerry do? Put on a pink shirt. Hope you like it. And then Sidecar Bob says, hi, everyone. Jerry, nice yellow shirt. Well, see, you guys are colorblind. That's your problem right there. I understand about hurting all over. I've had a few days like that from moving all the stuff out of the basement. The end of is almost in sight. Yeah, I don't know how to explain the pain. Like, seriously, if you said, where does it hurt? I'd go, I don't know. It hurts everywhere. It's hard to explain that, but it's the way it feels. It hurts everywhere. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, there's no one spot that hurts worse than the rest, but everything hurts. Yeah, it's just the truth of it. And it was a tough night last night, let me tell you. Bruce Ducker, I could sleep like a baby on the ground floor of that wheelhouse. Yeah, I think I could too. I can't wait to get the thing finished, really, is what and maybe I will sit out there for a day or so and just relax. Scott Roberts, wow, did you see all the fish in the pond during that water? Yeah, most of those are catfish. There's a bunch of them. There's not a real ton of them in there. I'm going to say there's 10 or 12 of them, that are just churning the water up there. But boy, they keep coming, man. Those catfish they're after that stuff. Let's see. Sidecar Bob. Bruce, I'd sleep like a baby too. Awake every hour because of the running water. Yeah. Well, that might be a problem. Let's see. Moving on down. Leslie Price says, have you watched the last Colin Firth's Secret Garage? Yeah, that's really good, isn't it? If you guys haven't seen it, I seriously think you should go back and start at the beginning when he starts digging his tunnel. You wonder, where is he going with this? He's digging a tunnel out of his shop right down through the floor, and he tunnels all the way back to, I think it's his house, yeah, and he comes up inside his kitchen or something. It's like there's a pantry or a closet, and he comes up inside his house. And you think, well, it's kind of handy. If it's raining, you just go, through the tunnel to your shop, and back and forth. But I'm thinking that's a lot of work for just handy, you know. And anyway, he just kept going and he kept going and he kept going. I think he tunneled to yet another shed or something, and then he just tunneled out the whole front yard, and he built an underground garage that's going to have a lift that lifts the car up, you know, and the driveway's going to open, and then he can back his car out. It's amazing. It really is. If you haven't seen it, you ought to watch it. It's just amazing. And he's entertaining anyway. Colin Furze is very big on YouTube, by the way. He's huge. Scott Roberts, what would Jerry do? I found a $20 bill at the store and asked myself, what would Jesus do? So I turned it into wine. True story. I turned it into the cashier. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm no saint, but anything. If I think, like for instance, this diamond ring, if I thought I could figure out who might have owned it or whatever, I'd just give it back to them. But I don't have any way to know who that would have been. I mean, it's got to. This is way back there, and I don't have those records and don't have any way to know. But you know, like, I mean, just as an example, Lowe's opened up out in St. Robert, a brand new store. It was their, you know, opening day or whatever. So I was in there and I bought, I'm not kidding you, I bought like 5 or 6 truck and trailer loads of stuff. I'm not exaggerating. I mean, because I was doing a huge project. Well, it was partly for the where the rental retreat is now, and it may have been all for that. Now that I think about it, I bought doors and windows and, you know, tile and all kinds of stuff. Well, after something happened, and it turned out that I bought, I don't know, 10 boxes of marble tile or something like that, and they only charged me for 1 box, and it was really expensive tile. So I went back and I paid them. Because, you know, it just ain't right. You're stealing, you know, and I don't like to steal, you know. And I hate a thief. Boy, I mean, I literally hate a thief. I'd hang them. I'm seriously telling you, I'm a hanging judge. Yeah. Let's see. Moving on down. Bill Mumbo. Bit of buffering, Jerry. Atmospheric conditions? I don't think so. This is all on a fiber optic cable. It's not affected by lightning or anything like that, so I don't think there should be any reason why it would be buffering. David Tharp, I knew a girl who was engaged to a man with a wooden leg, but she broke it off. Oh, David. You are one sick pup. Let's see. Ronald. Jerry, you built that water wheelhouse so sturdy it will last into the next century. And I'm telling you something, you know, I shouldn't say this because you know how that goes. But a tornado could knock it over. But a tornado ain't going to tear it apart. It might blow it halfway down the valley, but that thing's going to still be together when you find it. I'm seriously telling you, that thing is put together now. It's seriously stronger than your average house for sure. There it goes again. Push the button there. Maybe that'll shut it up. I don't know. Clyde Lewis, prayers for the Roses and everyone. Well, thank you, Clyde, and back to you. Sidecar Bob, when they ask me where it hurts, I just answer yes. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like a pain that you just can't explain. It just hurts everywhere. and it hurts a lot. It don't hurt a little bit. It hurts a lot. I mean, it's like I'm not lying to you. The last hour and a half, 2 hours I was up there, I was like, I got to quit. I'm going to have to quit. But I just kept going because I wanted to get that much done. And now I'm really glad I did with all this mess that we got going on out there. David Thorpe, I was the first human to see the water wheel turning. I'd like to see it when it's completely finished. Well, you can come back. Sidecar Bob, Bruce, I'm like that now. I wash my hands in the kitchen and have to run to the bathroom. Bruce Ducker says, I'm there with you, Jerry. I dislike thieves and liars. Yeah, it's just, yeah. I seriously just have no use. I told you my story about the thief that stole all the stuff, all the tools from JR's house that he was building. He was remodeling a house on the other side of Newburgh before he moved here to the farm. It was a different place. And he had borrowed most of my tools, and he borrowed my trailer and all kinds of stuff. And the sheriff, I had a hot tip that some of the stuff was in this guy's backyard. Well, the sheriff says, well, we've got those guys under surveillance for a drug bust, and we're going to be busting them on drug charges and stuff, so we're not going to, I said, so you're telling me you're not going to do anything about my $30,000 worth of stuff that got stolen? Nope, we're working on this drug bust thing, and we're not going to do anything. Well, I said, well, okay, then. I'm just going to let you know. I'm standing in his office. He's sitting in his chair behind his desk. And I just looked him straight in the eye, and I said, well, I'm headed over there right now, and I'm going to get my stuff. He goes, you can't do that. I go, why can't I? He says, because he'll shoot you. That guy's crazy. He'll shoot you. I said, well, guess what? I'm a better shot than he is. I'm going to take my gun with me, and I'm going, whether you're going or not. He didn't know what to say. He didn't know whether to, crap his britches or go blind. And I told him exactly what I was going to do. And sure enough, I did it. And then when I got over there and I actually found JR's brand new Samsung refrigerator out in his backyard under a pile of stuff, And I was hidden up in the woods. I'm no dummy, and I had my gun with me, trust me. And anyway, so then I called the sheriff. I said, look, you got to come now. I found the stuff. It's here. So they did. They came. But, just when it comes to a thief, I don't know how to explain it, but I ain't putting up with it. Let's see. Scott Roberts. Jerry, I'm glad to see another person with a conscience. I appreciate your honesty. Well, thank you. To me, it was, I think it just, I don't know. What goes around comes around. Stealing will never get you anywhere. Ronald Todd, Jerry, I truly believe that the water wheel could produce enough power someday to power your entire property. I don't think so. I don't even think it could even get close. It just don't have that kind of power. Plus, there's not that much water flow. You're seeing it in the spring right now. There's a lot of water flow. But come about July, it'll be going like that. It's not a chance. Wavy Gravy. I knew a very pleasant girl who had multiple personalities. She was nice people. Scott Roberts. I wrote a song about a guy with a metal plate in his head who fell in love with a girl with a magnetic personality. I call it Stuck on You. Wavy Gravy. My neighbor wrote a song for his wife. It was entitled, I Can't Get Over a Girl Like You, so you'll have to answer the phone yourself. Oh, you guys are messed up now. I'm seriously telling you. I don't know where you come up with all this stuff. Well, guys, I'm going to probably let that be it here. Let's see. Stephen Thomas says Jerry took a little bit out of the nut, and it's good now. Didn't have to take much, mainly on the low end and string. Thanks for your knowledge. You're welcome. You're talking about your truss rod, I guess. Scott Roberts says thumbs up. Yeah, if you wouldn't mind, click the thumbs up. I would appreciate it very much. And Preston Johnson says Jerry is totally live by the same that you have. I truly think if you will lie, you will steal. Take care of yourself. Yeah. I don't have much, use for a liar either. But the difference is with most liars, most of them. I'm not saying all of them, but most of them. You can pretty much just tell they're lying. You know what I mean? It's just, there's just something about it. You can just look right through him and just say, anytime his mouth's moving, he's lying. That's Bob was one of those. There was another fella, and I won't mention his name because he was a friend of mine. I liked him, and I played music with him. But literally, if his mouth was moving, he was lying. And I'm not going to say who he was, but I'll just tell you, he told stories like, he passed away, just so you understand. But he would tell stories like, yeah, I used to play with Bill Monroe, and I did this, and I did that, and I was on stage with Bill a bunch of times, and, all this stuff. And it was all just made up crap. It just 100% lies. And I like, another example was when 9/11 hit, one of the stories he told me was that Fort Leonard Wood called him and asked him to come into active duty for, I don't know, some special service to protect something because maybe a nuclear reactor or something at the college or something like that. I mean, it was just, I can't remember all, but just as soon as he started talking, I knew he was lying. Why some people have to do that, I have no idea. I have no idea. But there are people like that. And most of those kind of guys, you can just tell the moment they start talking, they're lying, Like I said, Bob was one of those. All right. Scott Roberts says, never try to out BS a good BSer. Yeah, that's true too. Well, guys, I will see you on Monday for sure. I'm going to do my best to get a video out this weekend because I haven't had one out in a while, and mostly because I've been working so hard on everything, and I'm still really working hard. I'm going to have to go cut a bunch of shingles for this. I'm going to have to at least cut the trees down to get the bases so I can make some more shingles. It's never ending. But I will see you on Monday, if not before. Take care.